This is the start of turning this trial around. Show them what you're made of. Got it. So, the person eating the steak at the victim's table must have been an as if unknown third party. Obviously, it can only be someone else who is sitting at the professor's table.
Objection!
You will not let this go, will you? There was such no person.
Yes!
There was, because I saw her. When the incident occurred, we know that the victim couldn't have been eating anything. Yet we have evidence of a half-eaten steak on this table. Therefore, the only logical conclusion is that there was somebody else there eating it. We have the strong evidence to support our assertion. It's clear that the witness testimonies are unreliable. The court decides to push together their ruling at this stage. We will lodge for a formal complaint with the Ministry of Justice and pursue a fair retrial relentlessly. Kazuma, are you insane? You take on the government? Don't worry, Consul. I have no issue with you. What do you mean? I have an issue with them, the two witnesses in the stand. What? What are you talking about? We have demonstrated with evidence that the victim was not alone. So if it now turns out that the two of you deliberately lied when giving your testimonies, obviously you will be charged with perjury. Perjury? And, since it's a murder trial, you will also be deemed complicit in the killing. Complicit. In murder? No! Hold it! Negative. There was no mention of the tactical meeting. I was just following orders. That's right, as the man says. Just as you never saw the gentlewoman. That's, they told us. Oh. What? Oh yeah, thanks for the slip-up, man! Yep. Did you just say Kortiko-san? The old man just said, never speak of the gentlewoman. You were just saying, following orders. Now hold on, lad. I, say you never saw the gentlewoman. What? When you say gentlewoman, do you mean you saw the victim and a lady from overseas? What?
Objection!
What is the meaning of all this? The witnesses gave false statements? Is this true, you pair? Yeah, pay attention. Just one simple slip of the tongue. Order, order. Counsel, explain what is going on here. It's painfully clear now. You try to prevent these witnesses from telling the truth. Absolutely not. The prosecution knows nothing of this. Then who's behind this? Who tried to make you keep your mouth shut? Well, that's classified. So prepare to be tried as conspirator to this murder, are you? You wouldn't. This can't be happening. Ryunosuke, judging from the way they reacted to this, it'd say that they were sworn to silence by someone with considerable influence. However, I don't believe Achi has any idea about it. What are you saying? I mean, to wield that kind of influence, there are only a handful of possibilities. It could only have been the government, the military, or the police, I suppose. Well, any ideas about who might be behind this? If we can affirm who tried to silence these witnesses, then we can continue our pursuit. So we need to name whoever it was that tried to make the witnesses keep their mouths shut. Of course, we'll need evidence before making any firm accusations. Evidence that proves whoever it was really did wield his or her power here. But how? How can possibly? Remember how we made progress before? We examined this piece of evidence in more detail and found a new clue as a result. Oh yes, that's right. Well, that's not the only piece of evidence we have, is it? We need to re-examine everything and make sure there's nothing we've missed. There's no time to lose. I want answers. If it's proven that these witnesses have been manipulated, I assure you, penalty will be severe. Please, wait, Your Excellency. I had no idea about any of this. I swear on every Shinto god. I knew nothing. And what does this defense here have to say about this? Well, Your Excellency. No time to think. I'm just going to have to close my eyes and shout out the first name that comes in my head. And that's never going to work. Besides the prosecution, the only person with the necessary influence to manipulate the witnesses is... It could be the waiter. He definitely was suspicious, blood coming out of his mouth.
Yes!
Well, surely it would that be of Satoru Hanasa, Mr. Satoru Hasanaga. He was in on it as well. He also claimed there was no gentlewoman. Hasanaga-san? The waiter looked to be who took the stand earlier.
Objection!
Poppycock! What is that type of word? Not to mention the fact that even a head waiter could not possibly have that level of influence. For once, I would agree with you. If, that is, the man truly were a waiter. What? If he truly were? Oh, come on, Ryunosuke. Time to hit this quote with the truth. The truth about Satoru Hanage-san's real identity is proven in this evidence? Oh! The business card! He gave us the business card! Let's see the back. Chief Inspector Satoru Hasanaga, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau.
Yes!
Let's go! Not sure what this is supposed to prove. Console? I think Your Excellency. Oh. Sorry. I maybe should have gone a little deeper. Try again. Well, that's unexpected. Alright, so I was supposed to click it. Look, do you see that says the witness's name here? Satoru Hasanaga. Well, yes, business cards do tend to show the person's name. That's sort of the point. It's not the name that's unexpected, it's its job title. His job? Oh! Chief Inspector Satoru Hasanaga, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau. Inspector? What on earth? I have no idea. Let's face it, the police have a lot of power and influence. They're wielding it somehow here. Okay, so we do have to update the evidence. Let's go back. There's something in there that proves who this way really is. Alright.
Yes!
Now that it showed that he's a police inspector, this should be vital evidence. I agree to show a great deal of attention to detail, but I'm not sure we include anything. Sorry, Your Excellency, it's the back of the card. It's the back of the card that's of interest. Now, is there a way to skip all of this? So, wait, no, this is new content. So he's an aware after all. He's a detective. Let's face it, the police have a lot of power and influence. They're winning somehow here. Okay, these dudes translate to kitchen and waitress. That's another piece of news. I beg your pardon. Or perhaps I should have said the front. Oh right, it's the front and of the back of the card. That's where the telling detail is. Would someone please explain what this overexcited student is trying to say? Hosonaga-san sketched the plan of the restaurant on the reverse side of his business card. In the front of the business card reveals that the man questions profession, his true profession. The waiter's profession? What? That's surely... Good. Good gracious! There we go. There we're getting somewhere. Why couldn't we have pointed it out? Or is there seriously something I'm not supposed to do here? That's right, Your Excellency. The card reads, Chief Inspector, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau. What? The waiter is a police detective? I haven't heard any mention of this before. Why have I heard the mention before? The Imperial Police Bureau has immense power. Absolute power as far as regular civilians are concerned. If I was accidentally pressing the R button. That may have been why. Was it in fact the waiter who gave you orders? Was it he who told you not to mention that you'd seen this foreign gentlewoman at the scene? Well... Okay, probably was. The waiter's back. Inspector Hosonaga? I was worried something like this may happen. The moment you asked me to submit my sketch as evidence, I realized it was a possibility. The court will take this plan and add to the court record as evidence. Oh, well... Of course! I had a feel that he was resistant, but I thought that was just because... it was like a personal obsession to him. I didn't think he was actually hiding something. Although I guess that also makes sense. I've tried to carry out all investigations flawlessly. It's my guiding principle. Yeah, but you clearly flawed up on this one. It was an unusual careless mistake. So, you mean to say, you really are a detective? But why would a detective be working as a restaurant waiter? Ah, of course. Your salary must be terrible. I was looking undercover. Undercover? Yes, there have been a series of incidents at the restaurant recently. In order to investigate, I decided to get a job there as a waiter, working undercover. Instead of the restaurants, what kind of incidents? That would be classified police information, which I am not at liberty to divulge. However, I can state the category that they are unrelated to this case of homicide. Very well then, Inspector Hosonaga. Would you elaborate on one point for this court? Of course, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, we have just heard new information from the two witnesses beside you. At the time of the shooting, there was in fact another person present at the victim's table. If that was indeed true, clearly you would also have been aware of this person's presence, having served at the table in question. However, your testimony did not allude to this other dinner. Therefore, I am led to assume that you, in professional capacity as police officer, you acquired these witnesses to be in agreement. Would that be correct? Correct, Your Excellency. Unbelievable! As I expected. As soon as I heard the gunshot, I ran out of the kitchen to see what had happened. The victim was slumped on his chair. Beside him, gun in his hand, stood the accused student. Sitting opposite the victim at the same table was a very young lady, whom I guessed used to be an Englishwoman. Well, she is an Englishwoman. So the truth comes out. I immediately sealed off the restaurant and reported the incident to the bureau. It was then I relieved some special orders. Special orders? You mean to say, remove the Englishwoman from the scene at once. Okay, someone's playing naughty. It was clear the Englishwoman's presence at the restaurant was to be concealed. Those were my orders. But what if this Englishwoman was the killer? I think it would be in everyone's best interest not to pursue the idea. The Empire views the friendly terms of its relationship with Britain more than highly than anything at the moment. An Englishman has been murdered on our soil. To name an Englishwoman as a primary suspect, well, without irrefutable evidence, that would be completely out of the question. So that's the reason for the disappearance of the phantom woman in this case? But it's not right! Just because she's not from the country doesn't mean she has to be left out. One possibility does spring into mind. What do you mean? Yumi University is currently hosting a number of exchange students from Great Britain. And I'm fairly certain that one of them, studying in the medical faculty's research laboratory, is a young Englishwoman. What? You're a shrewd man. I can see why you're a chosen candidate for the overseas study tour. You mean this Englishwoman was in the university class? When I removed the woman from the scene of the crime, I thought it was prudent to check her identity first. Then the court demands that you name the lady at question at once, Inspector. The Englishwoman sitting at the university professor's table was certain Miss Jazala Brett. She was indeed a foreign student studying in the research laboratory at Yuma University's medical faculty. What is happening here? I admit that under orders from the police bureau, I erased all evidence of this lady's presence at the scene, and ordered these witnesses to make no mention of her in their testimonies. And since, if that's possible, now it would be even easier for her to get away with murder. Because she'd have the new alliance at her backup side, and they'd be in a different country. Thus far, the case presented to the court has been underpinned by a peculiarly critical premise. Namely, the victim was dining alone. However, as we now have discovered that this premise is false, it would be a discretion of our justice system to ignore the truth and give a ruling at this point.
Objection!
But, Your Excellency, that would mean missing the noon deadline of a ruling in our order to send some telegraphic report to Great Britain. Our own government will surely be displeased by such actions. Calm yourself, Counsel. I will not allow the government of our country or any other to influence the proceedings of my courtroom. Ah! Inspector Hasunaga. Yes, sir? You will locate the Jezal Brat and escort her to the courtroom with the utmost urgency. At once, Your Excellency. But this means we're going to get the special orders you were given at the police bureau! As I said before, it is my guiding principle to carry out all investigations flawlessly. So, it won't be a problem. Nothing will get in my way. He's coughing an awful lot of blood. Courtroom will adjourn briefly. The prosecution must call the English student, Jezal Brett, to the witness stand. Do I make myself clear? Yes. Your Excellency. Your Excellency! I have to exaggerate on that part. Good, then we have a 30-minute recess before recovering. We're only 21 minutes in. But if I only continued for 21 minutes, this will really have been interesting. 22nd November, 11:38 a.m. Supreme Court of Judiciary, Defendant, Antechamber. 5. Alright. Excellent work, Ryunosuke. That was superb! My heart was in the mouth of my entire time. It was almost unbelievable. I mean, look at you there. You were drenched in sweat, your eyes popping, your knees knocking, and you were grinding your teeth. It was a grim sight. Before I knew it, you started finding inconsistencies with the testimony. I think you might have a natural talent for being a lawyer. Forget it. It's terrifying. If I get through this, don't want to ever see the inside of a courtroom ever again. Anyway, it looks like we've exposed your Phantom Lady at last. Miss Giselle Brett, a student from the Great Britain. Is she? That's what I was trying to tell everyone from the start. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone. There was a young woman with him, like I've been saying all along. Yes, you have. Haven't you? I might not be overly confident in the courtroom, but my powers of observation are one thing I am sure of. Yes, I can see that. So, about this young gentlewoman. Thanks to our detective friend, she was hastily escorted away from the scene, it seems. You see what happened with that? No, I didn't see any of it. I was just on my way out of the restaurant myself. Then, on the floor next to Dr. Wilson's table, I noticed there was a gun lying on the floor. After I bent down and picked it up, I had not had time to think about whether the sounds of gunshot had came from. The waiter ran over to me, looking as white as a sheet, and he bundled me into some sort of small pantry next to the kitchen. Fast thinking by the detective. Yeah, right at his suspect without a moment's delay. Yes, and he became... Yes, because I was shut in the pantry, I have no idea what happened outside of the dining area. Ah, there you are. Well done, both of you. Professor Makatova. Well, it seems I was right. The pair of you make an outstanding team. You've exceeded my expectations, I have to say. Yes, it seems you have planned this from the start. You arranged things so I wouldn't be able to act as a lawyer in this trial. Our modern country is still in its infancy, our justice system even more so. Which is why I firmly believe that we need to send our brightest young stars to overseas to learn all they can. I want to avoid a situation that may result in your study tour from Great Britain being cancelled. Well, it makes no difference. Lawyer or otherwise, I'm the kind of man who can't help his best friend avert the worst crisis of his life. I shouldn't waste everyone's time by going to study overseas anyway. What are you saying, Kazuma? Well, that's your stance. I was afraid you'd feel that way. Kazuma, listen to me. It looks like it all comes down to you, young man. To me, yes. You need to prove your innocence and uncover the reality of what really took place in that restaurant. I must say, I very much wanted to know the truth. After all, I have a personal connection to this case. I don't remember that, actually. As you're probably aware, Dr. John H. Wilson was a visiting professor at UMA, and it was who I invited him. I see. I didn't know that before. Anyway, you're about to go into battle. The victim was a university professor in Great Britain, and a well-known one at that. Naturally, our government is looking to identify and punish the culprit as quickly as possible. But let's not forget who we're going up against. The gentlewoman whose involvement our police bureau went to extraordinary lengths to hide. Yes, and I'm sure that the prosecution will be using every tool at their disposal to quash your case. But I have no doubt that you pair will put up a good fight, right to the last. Best of luck. Thank you. Now then. I need you to run an errand at the university at once. There's something I think we may need. Of course. Good luck, Kazuma-sama. Defendant Naruhodo, court recess is over. Please make your way back inside the courtroom at once. It's time. Let's get back to it, partner. Let's go there and deal the decisive blow. Before these odd fossils know what hit them. Kazuma? What? Thank you. Thank you, really. What for? Well, if you hadn't said you believed me, then I'm fairly sure I'd already have been found guilty by now. Look, I have faith in you. As a lawyer, and as a friend. Coming from you, that means a lot. If I'm found guilty in this trial, he's really going to give up on his dream of studying abroad. That's the kind of true friend he is. It's just my bell anymore. Whoever we're up against, we absolutely cannot afford to lose. Alright then. I'll save the thank yous for after the trial. You can treat me to one of those siyaki meals I like from Yume Cafeteria on University Street. With an extra large portion, of course. Alright, there we are. Man, all this speaking is making me bloody thirsty. Yeah, the court resumes. Let's get back to business. Yes, Your Excellency. Against all odds. And then thanks to a third young stripling, prosecution is now under rather painful scrutiny from the government. Sorry. What are you apologizing for? Let the government scrutinize. It's their job. It's nothing to worry about. It's highly unlikely that the good relations we forged with Great Britain will emerge from this trial unscathed. Will you think it's nothing to worry about when the new treaty breaks down and our nation founders? Again, terribly so. It's not your fault! You literally just showed proof that you're innocent. Or you're on the right track. Why are you apologizing? Oh yeah, good point. If friendship between our nations is really so fragile, then the treaty isn't worth the paper it's written on. You really have nothing to worry about, Ryunosuke. What do you mean? A secret trial, anxiety over some foreign government opinions, a bundled investigation missing witnesses. Is that what our nation's justice system is? Is this the Supreme Court of Japan or of England? Shut up! Shut up, you jump up, rookie boy! You and your friend know nothing. Nothing of the situation our nation finds itself in. So what, you're gonna make a bunch of bullcrap and just aim someone in Japanese is guilty, even though someone in England may have been the culprit, so you can keep your treaty powers? That's complete bullshit. By aligning ourselves with the great world of power, we'll become strong. Diplomacy has never been more critical. Steady political maneuvering is what will secure our futures. I won't deny that I'm no expert. I'm just a student, and one who could arguably study hard too. But standing here now in our Supreme Court, there is one thing I feel very strongly. A country that fails to uphold the truth in its justice system is a country with no future at all. Well said, Ryunosuke. Despite the wide-eyed look and terror. You little brats! Darn right, you're on the wrong track. This court is the pinnacle of a nation's justice system, and it exists solely for the pursuance of truth. With that in mind, the trial will now resume and the next witness is taking the stand. Hachi should just give up. He's just falling to cheap tricks. Alright, Miss Jalda Brett, show your testimony. How pathetic. Why the hat? Why are you so happy to see her? What is wrong with you? Well, we're delighted to welcome such a fine gentlewoman in Japan. Well, wait, has everyone here been local so far? Teeth, someone bring English... We have a trial to focus on, not some culture stereotypes. So, ahem. Could we possibly trouble you to state your name and occupation for the court? Of course. My name is Satoru Hasunaga. I have been working undercover as the head waiter of La Carnival, but my true... Yes, we all know about you already. Inspector Hasunaga, where are your manners? In English, it's always ladies. Well, the lady was silent. Well, there is a saying ladies first, although do they actually go by that rule in England? The earlier taste, you said something to me. You said your powers of observation are the one thing you're sure of. Oh yes, I think I did, didn't I? Yet your description for this amazing sight was simply a woman. Sorry, Ryunosuke, but powers of observation aside, your powers of description are sorely lacking. Guilty. Oh dear lady, once again. Yeah. She had the frickin' swan on her hat. Oh, what? How the hell am I supposed to read that? That's supposed to be English, is it not? If she's English, what is she? I mean, this is not even cursive. This is illegible. I'm terribly sorry, dear lady, but what? Oh, come on, you're speaking oh, come on, they have to cipher up the English in the Japanese game that's already translated to English, so we can't understand it? Oh, come on, game. Why you gotta do that? Make it Japanese or something. To put some levels of multitude on it. The lady says her name is Jazal Brett. She comes from London, England. She's a visiting research student, currently enrolled in Yomei University's medical faculty. Oh my, what a rare treat to have her dulcet tones of the delightful language of British people. I'm afraid I don't understand a word you said, but I was beautiful as a hummingbird. Oh, stop sipping her already! As far as I can tell, the detective is translating her words faithfully enough. Yes, I agree. Haha, you'll obviously do fine in England, Kazuma. English doesn't rile you at all, does it? No, you clearly been paying attention in your English classes, Ryunosuke. The court has been a beautiful lady taking the stand. Now, if it may trouble you to confirm some, Miss Brett. 3 days ago, a restaurant called La Carnival, a grim murder took place. The court has been led to believe that you were dining there with the victim, Dr. Wilson, at the time. Is this correct? This is totally sketchy. She says, yes. This could take some time. So even though she's studying here in Japan, she can't speak any Japanese. You don't have to get all close to her like that. I'm sure you can hear her. Alright, pressing the ZR button deals the court record. Good to know. She'd like to apologize for disappearing from the scene. She says that she was due to make a presentation at some university, so she had to leave immediately. Interesting. When you say you're the one who engineered her escape, I was just following special orders from the borough. Well now, dear lady, would you be so kind to cast your eyes over to the photographic print? Seeing as you were so unfortunately present at the scene of the crime, could it be that your resplendent eyes caught sight of this wicked perpetrator, perhaps? Apparently, it was very frightening. And a sorrowful sight. Do you mean to say... Yes, it would appear that the lady did witness the crime. The very moment when the accused, standing right there in his courtroom, shot the victim in cold blood. I guess we haven't proved him innocent yet. Order in the court. Did you hear that, Your Excellency? We have absolute conclusive evidence witness statement. Well, it looks like it's clear now. Clear who our real enemy is. Yeah, good point. Fortunately, I will have to ask you formally testify, if you please. Kindly tell the court your exact nature of this frightening and sorrowful sight you described. I've arranged a meeting for a slightly late luncheon with Dr. Wilson that day. The professor was unable to eat, so I ordered for myself only, a beef steak. After a while, the accused came over to greet the professor, and they got into a fierce argument. Then, not long afterwards, the accused took the professor's gun and shot him right before my eyes. I don't carry a gun myself, so obviously I couldn't have been the culprit. This is condemning testimony indeed. No, I didn't have that kind of argument with the professor at all. Yeah, can you prove that? Can you please shut up, Achi? You really are starting to annoy me. You're still making the same mistakes, Ryunosuke. You mustn't blurt out what you grow it like that. That's a lesson you need to learn. He's annoying. I agree. Of course, I was at the scene as well. I took the statements from this lady the two witnesses who testified before, and reported back to the bureau. I decided that Miss Brett was not involved, so I let her go. The testimonies of the last two witnesses were completely worthless, however. Well, even so. On the day of in question, the lady was wearing the same outfit as she is today. As you can see, there was nowhere about her person where she could conceal a firearm. I think she could have had a gun almost anywhere in that outfit she wanted to. Unless and until the precise location of where witnesses have hidden the weapon can be shown. This is moot. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. And where do you hide your mask you carry all the time? It's ridiculous. If only I was allowed to lift up her dress, I could prove it. Oh, good point about the dress. I hadn't fired the gun and picked it up. There's been another gun that day. You're right about that, which means this lady was hiding a gun somewhere. Yes, and that's what I have to prove now. And to do so, we need to pull a testimony apart. They showed her that grin because they need to prove that she is the culprit. The case is going the way she wants to. Alright, time to examine. Oh wait! Our penalties have been refreshed. We're back to 5. I arranged a slightly late lunch with Wilson that day. The person wasn't able to eat, so I ordered for myself only, a beef steak. After a while, the accused came over to greet the professor, got into a fierce argument. I just want to see the rest of what you have to say. But, okay. Let's just press the button here. I ordered for myself only. Oh, you only ordered for yourself. I'm sorry. However, I'd like to show you this. Wait, I got too impatient last time, that's why I got the penalties. Even though I counted that last episode, I counted all the different boxes, technically, the strip of the steak made. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are a total of 16 here. And on this image, there's only like 14. The numbers already are added off.
Yes!
He was unable to eat, you say. And that was because he just had a tooth removed at the Hota Clinic, correct? That's right. You're supposed to actually check with the witness before answering. Was Miss Brett aware of this fact? It seems so, yes. she heard the professor was to have some dental treatment. So that would mean that it was who ate the steak pictured here. Is that right, Miss Brett? That's right, yes. The print you have there shows the table exactly as was left after the horrifying events. Exactly as it was left? Dear me, what a harrowing experience. To have traveled such a distant island on the far side of the world and be involved in such a tragic incident. You had to cross America or all of Russia. That's a lot of traveling, I'll tell you. That's right. Other than some carbonated water. Just the water? Yes. The professor was unable to eat, but they had been given permission to drink water. So it appears the diners toasted their lunch with a glass of water each. They each raised the glass of carbonated water. What do you think, Ryunosuke? What about the witness's last statement? That water, that definitely has some in it. I'm not sure if this glass is empty, but it definitely looks like that. That last statement of yours, Miss Brett, has a profound bearing on this case. Well, well. How fascinating. Do tell us, what is this profound bearing? Oh, we actually are proceeding. The significance of the statement will become apparent when the time is right. The defense calls for the witness's last statement to be formally added to the testimony. Well stepped, counsel. Very well. Miss Brett, can I repeat what you just said, be added to your official testimony? Gladly, she said. Wider mask move. That was brilliant, Kazuma. I'm going to remember that one. Which one? The significance will become apparent when the time is right. I can really use that phrase. I'd hope there were some more useful tips you're picking up to experience that, Ryunosuke.
Yes!
It's all very well saying that, but can you prove it? Absolutely. I verified it personally. You verified it? Yes. Immediately after the incident, I checked to make sure the lady was not carrying a weapon. I distinctly remember her saying, "I'm not." That's all you did? You just asked her? Sure, you carried out a physical search, Inspector. No. Oh, why on earth not? The Honorable English gentlewoman clearly stated that she did not possess a weapon. There obviously no need to further probing into that matter. Or there was no permission given for any further probing in that matter, perhaps? Good point. Think what you will. But if you're going to continue with this preposterous claim that the refined lady was controlling a firearm, prosecution demands that you support your assertion with facts. In other words, he wants evidence. The lady witness to point out, of course, she wanted to stay and assist the investigation, but she was in a hurry to give a presentation at the university, so she was compelled to leave. Not to mention the fact your office had told you to get the woman out of there. Not get her out of there. I was just urged her to leave. But what he would like to point out, she in no way meant to run away from the scene of the crime. This is why she's only happy to cooperate and testify her court today, of course. Unlike a stern student who refuses to admit when the game is up. You gotta at least have the courtesy to pay attention when I'm groaning you. And no one wants to listen to you. So leave maintaining that you've gotten to an argument with the professor, at the end of which you shot him, which is an iron out, a totally unfounded lie. Still, her statement is very compelling. After all, she is elegant, refined, young, and beautiful. Gentlewoman. Oh! Not you two. I'm talking across with you, dressed from the head to toe in a dull school black uniform. I'm exactly the same way as you are, except the flapping red ribbons. Oh yeah, good point. Well anyway, it is our only chance to expose her testimony as fictional as that is. If you can't do that, the trial's over. Even you with your thick skin must be able to feel the murderous looks they're getting from around the room. Only too well. I feel half dead already. The first thing we need to do is press her on any statements that seem slightly off to you. Do that, and the opening will present itself. I promise you. I need to expose the true face of the god form that was behind the mask. They got into an argument. We have no evidence on that.
Yes!
But I'd like to see more on this fierce argument you're talking about. I was going over to say hello. Please don't get angry with me. No, I wasn't directing the resort at you. I was meant for the lady next to you. But anyway, as I said, I had not argued with the professor. I'm afraid your words are in vain. Sorry? Miss Brett does not appear to speak Japanese. No, of course not. Japanese is such a cumbersome language anyway. English is the future. We must all speak English. Oh. Right. Yeah, now remember this is Japanese, and this has been out technically for like 6 years, but it's only came in the English version now. Right. I wonder if the prosecution will feel that way forever, or only in the presence of a beautiful woman. Yeah, probably the latter. Anything else to say? Anyway, it seems that after the argument, the accused briefly returned to his own seat. The part ties with too much to say, doesn't it? Yes, I still had some coffee to drink. And the next time you got after that was when I finished my coffee and stood up to leave. Then not long afterwards, the accused took the professor's gun and shot him right before my eyes. Alright, next explain what you see here. Like I said, I did not shoot that gun. That what you're saying? Like I said, there's no point in seeing that assertion over and over. Ask them, if I did shoot the gun, how did I attack her? Nevertheless, defendant, you can't deny that when the shot rang out of the restaurant, you had a gun in your hand. Well, yes, that's true, but all I did was pick up the gun on the floor and saw the professor when I was leaving the restaurant. In fact, yes, there was someone much closer to the victim than me at the time. The highly suspicious lady at that stand. That will do, you dirty rotten scoundrel. That's a move that has nothing to do with this right now, but definitely funny. Will we see that later on in this game? Your accusation is just as baseless as ours. What nonsense. This lady's merely stating what she saw. It's already an international incident as far as I'm concerned. Anyway.
Yes!
I'd like to know a little more on the first statement then. After 2 p.m., in fact, that's really quite late lunch.
Objection!
You don't keep up with the latest fashions of Britain, do you? Late luncheons are en vogue, is that right? No. Okay, that was actually legible! A decisive English no has quite a sting to it. The gentlewoman is currently working in the victim's research laboratory, it seems, so it's apparently a daily occurrence that they would have lunch together. Well, on the day of the question, the victim had another appointment at the clinic first. Yes, and which we can prove it from the medical report card that was submitted as evidence earlier. That's right. Miss Brett and the victim went to lunch following the victim's treatment, which is why it was so late. Yes. That all makes perfect sense. Such wonderful logic. What a shining example of an English intelligence this gentlewoman is. Let's look at our evidence again then. Anything sketchy here? Alright, this is not going to help us much. So... how am I supposed to find evidence to contradict her? Wait a minute. The professor and I said cheers over a glass of carbonated water.
Yes!
So both of you and the professor drank this carbonated water, did you? Yes. Being the waiter, I poured 2 glasses myself. I clearly remember doing so. Except you're actually a detective. And the beefsteak. That was for you, Miss Brett. The lady said that she heard it was not customary to eat beef here until Japan opened its doors to the world. Yes, that's true. What a frightful place, is the lady's opinion. And I've heard it's not customary to eat sashimi in Great Britain. Now that's frightful. Every country has its own cuisine. As long as people have food to eat, it doesn't matter what it is. True, come to think of it. It's the first time I tried carbonated water. That was much of my psych the first time I even tried beef. That's funny. But anyway, back to the witness's statement. Somehow, I feel like there's something out of the place in that she's saying. We need to pounce it on every sliced thing now. You never know what might lead us to our goal. Our goal of turning this trial around. Understood, Kazuma. I want to explain this. That's it. Let me just confirm something, please. It's to do with this photographic print. Just a short while ago, you spoke of this print showing the victim's table at the crime scene. That it was exactly as was left. That is correct, the lady says. Well, it's odd. Very odd. Dear me, what is odd about the defense's inability to express itself? Ryunosuke, what is it about the print that looks odd to you? Well, obviously, it's the cheers. The cheers? Miss Brett told us that she and the professor had cheers over a glass of water. But if that's true, why is there only one glass? You're quite right, Consul. There is only one glass pitcher here. Are you supposed to be impressed by this nitpicking over a manipulate? Well, past this print of the presence or absence of a glass make on this case. Metua, you say? Don't know how to say that word. Could it be that the detective here removed a glass from the potato to conceal the lady's presence? Of course not. I would never do something so reckless. But there should have been 2 glasses at the table. Are you going to try to tell me you can clink with only one? You're quite right. I certainly took 2 glasses to the table. Inspector, what did the lady say? It would seem that Miss Brett, who took the glass from the table. What? It was also terrifying. Even everything that happened. I panicked and thought I should try to hide the fact I'd been there at all, she was saying. Good gracious. That's a dig hole. Sorry. There, as I assured the court before, it is of no consequence at all. Oh, please. We must remember that the student had just murdered this lady's luncheon companion before our very eyes. Who would blame her for such concealing a glass into her discrepancy? That's absurd! Oh, really? So we take it that you're now going to accuse this vulnerable young woman of mischief? Not mischief. It's showing what's true or not. It would seem that she slipped into a small handbag. She was... How? Handbag? Oh, a handbag now. You had a handbag. A small handheld clutch commonly carried over by the jewel-good late nursing woman. You had to carry something in. Alright, just get the blather done, and let's go back to the handbag for a second. You could carry a gun in a handbag. Yep, it definitely had a deeper significance if we just took the glass away. Handbag. If there's deeper significance that, it's... the handbag. Wait, the lady put her glass in the handbag, you say? Yes, do you try to keep up? It's not even explained. Let me see. A little while ago, Miss Britt stated following. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. But, what she forgot to mention was her handbag, in which it would be perfectly possible to conceal a gun. You're right. Well done, partner. I had a feeling you'd pick up on that too. What are you insinuating, you vile blackguard? It's really very simple. The gunshot was heard from the defendant picked up the gun from the restaurant floor. If he didn't fire that gun, we can deduce that it must have been another firearm at the scene. The true murder weapon, if you will. You can't be seriously suggesting. Inspector Hasanaga. Yes? Did you or did you not search Miss Giselle Brett's handbag on the day of the murder? Of course he didn't. In other words, another gun, the one that was actually used to kill Professor, could have been hitting Miss Brett's handbag. No! You're definitely backing him in the corner. What was the meaning of this, Inspector? The meaning of what, Prosecutor Alchi? Why on earth did you not have the lady open her handbag to show you the contents at the time? Thanks to your budding incompetence, she now has to endure these uncomfortable accusations. Brilliant work, partner. We now have the chance to expose the real one behind the mask. Do you think so, Kazuma? You're coughing a lot, man. Well, what a sorry situation. Clearly you have no faith in the police. As I said, I had not searched the lady's handbag after the shooting. Simply because it was unnecessary. So, the police searched her. I have a piece of evidence here that I had completely forgotten about. This photographic print. This print of the photograph is what I thought to be a prudent to immediately take after the shooting. You can see, it shows Miss Brett's handbag. Well, I never! You can see through what's inside. Actually decent. That's right. Apparently, meshwork bags like these are the height of fashion at London at the moment. Exactly. So there was no need to search the lady's handbag. If there had been a gun inside, it would have been immediately obvious. As you can see, there's nothing to imply Miss Brett's guilt here. Thank you for helping to prove that, Naruto-san. Darn. Is the protagonist actually the culprit? That would be a shocker. Did not mean to press that. Certainly, Your Excellency. I think you've had long enough with this cross-examination, Counsel. The court has now been shown considerable evidence. The photographic prints had been submitted under the court record to appear of no further significance. I am satisfied that there is no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling. Indeed, and there is only one logical conclusion. The pathetic rookie slumped over the bench before us is the only possible perpetrator of this crime. Just when I thought I was beginning to turn these things around. I'm in a worse situation than I start. Kazuma? I'm sorry, Ryunosuke. Now that the cross-examination of the witness is over, there's no way to force the trial to continue. What? You mean this is it? I must say, you put up quite a fight for a rookie student. When the weak are meat, but the weak are meat while the strong eat. You are wasting your time. There's no way to feed two justice. The fact you chew on your own heart's content, aside from yourself. This can't be happening. Am I really going to be found guilty of a crime that I didn't commit? And Kazuma. His dream is setting Great Bend will slip through its fingers. Kazuma. What? Is there really no chance now of turning this trial around? You heard the judge. There's nothing about the last photograph the detective produced that we can contest. Which means there's no basis on which we can argue for this trial to continue.